Hello, my name is Autumn Murdock and my instructor is Professor Kimber Underdown. What is the special education teacher's role in supporting learning? In supporting learning, special educational teachers use motivational and instructional interventions to teach individuals with special needs. What is the special educational teacher's role in improving planning and practice? Well, improving, a special educational teacher can take teacher developmental days. They can also consistently assess professional teaching standards, such as the ones we learned this week in the course. This can lead to learning individual differences or potentially collaborating with others. This can ultimately lead to instructional planning that is substance filled with curriculum and lesson plans that ultimately can be practiced and implemented in the everyday class. What is the special educational teacher's role in upholding professional expectations and ethics? As a educator of any sort, whether it's special education or general education, it is imperative that we as teachers or future educators hold professional standards and ethics. That means that your job relies on that. Not only that your job relies on that, students look up to professionalism. They look up to you as an educator. You not only have a role of educating, but you have a role of being a role model for each student that you are educating. And students deserve to have that role model, to have that positive influence in their lives. That means no scolding students for the unknown. Each student has their own individuality and own ways that they learn. Instead, you should collaborate with that student and learn their individualities of learning. As far as collaborating, special educational teachers can collaborate with colleagues. This can be in order to teach each other what each other does not know in situations. Just in case, if you know a situation where you don't know how to handle it, your colleague can potentially help you in understanding that way or implementing a better way into handling a certain situation that may arise as an educator. They also can provide better routes or better variety of curriculum than touch on something that you may have not touched on. What dispositions that I currently possess that will currently help me become a successful teacher? I believe I possess the disposition of compassion, creativity, communication. I am showing compassion every day to my students with a high energy, addressing each student with a good morning, a smile. I am showing interest in my students' lives. That shows a form of compassion. This ultimately leads to creativity within my classroom. Students show up when they feel better, when they are addressed better, and when they are known to have compassion shown for them. And this leads to better communication, better participation throughout the course. As far as a disposition that I currently know I need to work on, it is the disposition of high expectations for my students. Growing up in a poverty-influenced neighborhood and in a public school with majority poverty-influenced students, it was hard to see that students tended to shut down when high expectations or high motivations were expected of them. And that is something that I did not want as an educator. However, taking this course, I've learned that it is important to individualize each student and understand their strengths and weaknesses in order to still have those high expectations, but through a more specialized or individualized curriculum. What effect could personal biases have on expectations that teachers have for their students, and how could these biases affect their relationship with students and their families? As an educator, it is important to acknowledge and examine our personal biases in order to understand and address their impact on our expectations of students. Teachers are expected to have a significant influence on students' achievement and success in the classroom. These expectations can be shaped by our own attitudes and beliefs, as well as cultural, language, and ethnic biases that we may hold unconsciously. Oftentimes, teachers can negatively have attitudes towards certain cultural and ethnic groups that we've seen, unfortunately, in the past, which can lead to lower expectations and efficiencies for those students. This can create a distance between the teacher and the student, and also the teacher and the parents or families of that student. It is crucial for teachers and educators to recognize their biases and understand that their students have past performances that are not a sole determinant of their abilities and potential. Additionally, it is important to confront and reconcile such biases in order to provide an inclusive and equitable learning environment for all students. In fact, teachers should recognize each student and embrace their individuality. Thank you all for listening,